Hello students. Students, today we are going to discuss another important topic of history mains for the UPSC exams, and the topic is Aryan's homeland. It's another debatable issue. That's why it's a controversial and debatable issue, and important also, and interesting also. So the topic is Aryan's homeland. And we talk about the original homeland of the Aryans, and when we use the word original, it means there are different scholars who have given the different views, and they are using the original word with their theory because they want to link somewhere with the Aryans themselves. That's why the people of different countries try to link somewhere with the Aryans because of the rich culture heritage of the Aryans. Aryans, that is the man of noble family, संभ्रांत परिवार के लोग. And in India, we experience this Aryan age from 1500 BC to 600 BC, and they divide into two parts. That is the early Vedic age and the later Vedic age. Early Vedic age, that is from 1500 to 1000, and later Vedic age, that is from 1000 to 600 BC. So who these Aryans were? We are having important three schools we are having, and these three schools are represented by different scholars. One school believes that the Aryans came from Central Asia, and different scholars are there, and we will try and they have tried their level best to link their theories with the Central Asian theory. Another school says that is the indigenous scholars, that is our own Indian scholars. They believe that Aryan didn't come from outside the Central Asian theory or other country. Rather, they were the original inhabitants of our country itself. Second point that we have to discuss. In the first point, we will discuss how the different scholars who believed in the original homeland of the Aryans, they belong to Central Asia. Then we will discuss the second school of the indigenous scholars or the Indian scholars who says that Aryan did not come outside the country, but they were the original inhabitant of this country of the Sub-Sindhu area of 7 rivers. The third school is also there. They blame that Aryans belong to their school, their theory, and either the Aryans from the Austria-Hungary region, or the German regions, or the Russian steppes region. We have to discuss these three important schools. But the majority of the scholars still today, they believe that Aryans came from Central Asia, and Max Muller have given very much strong views, evidences also, that force the people to think and accept Aryans came from Central Asia. But there are certain question marks on that theories also, and on the different theories there are certain question marks. But the majority of the historians, the scholars, what they believe that it was the Central Asia was the original homeland of the Aryans. So students, let us start from the topic Aryans original homeland, and we start with the theory of the Max Muller theory that Aryans belong to the Central Asia. Initially, according to the Central Asian theory, the Aryans would live in the vast area that stretched from, that was the steppe area, the green pasture land area, and that stretched from Poland to Central Asia. That was the vast area. And Aryans were the semi-nomadic people who would wander from one place to another in the search of the green pasture land, because their important position they had was the cattle, particularly the cows. The cows were the most important possessions, and they needed the green pasture land, and they were the semi-nomadic people who didn't have a permanent settled life. And that's why they moved from one place to another in search of the green pasture land with their cows. And in that process, they migrated from Central Asia also. So in the Central Asia, there was a great steppe land was there, that the green pasture land, and Aryans used to live in that of the area. That was a stretch from Poland to Central Asia. Initially, they would live there. But with the passage of time, because of the population pressure and because of the scarcity of the pasture land, चारागाहों की कमी होना, scarcity of the pasture land was there, and the population pressure was also there, which forced the Aryans to leave that area, and they started moving in other areas in search of the green pasture land. That's why they left that area. And different branches were there. So one branch moved toward the Europe, that is in the west. One branch moved southward, that is the West Asia, and another branch moved toward the Anatolia, that is the present day Turkey area, because of the population pressure was there. Just take the example, if in a class of 50 students, 50 more students come to join the class of 50 students, it means 100 students, we have to accommodate the 100 students in the class of 50 students, and that's a problem. Then what is the solution? The solution is that we have to change the classroom and we have to go to some big classroom where we are able to accommodate the 100 students. Same was the case here also, that was the population pressure, and when the population pressure was, it means the number of humans increased and the number of their cattle also increased, and that's why they needed more large areas to live. And one branch moved towards the west area, that the first branch in the Europe area. Second was they migrated toward the West Asia, and thirdly they migrated toward the Anatolia, that the present day Turkey. That was also the area of the West Asia. Aryans migrated there, and different scholars, just take the example of Max Muller. Max Muller tried to give Aryans theory, that is Aryans belong to the Central Asia, on the linguistic basis. Different scholars believed on the ethnic sources, on the ethnic beliefs also, but Max Muller believed that on the linguistic basis. Linguistic basis means Max Muller was of the view that the people who would live there, they had a common language, and that language is not known. That language is not known. The people who would leave this area, and later when they left that area also, because of the green pasture land and because of the more population, they left that area. But initially they spoke same language. They were the speaker of same language, but that language is not known. And when these Aryans migrated toward west, the first branch migrated toward the west in the Europe area, Max Muller tried to give the Central Asian theory to the Aryans on the basis of the linguistic basis. Linguistic basis means he believed that the present day Germans, Romans, Irish, the people of England or the people of Ireland or the Greece, they all belong to Aryans, and Aryans are their forefathers. And Aryans are their ancestors also. And these Aryans would live at a particular place and speak same language, but language is unknown. And then they start migrating. Just take the example here, and they migrated toward the Europe also, toward the West Asia also, toward the Turkey also, and one branch later through Iran, and after crossing Afghanistan, they came to our country India also, if you believe this theory. So in India, what we say, in Hindi language we use the word Mata and we use the word Pita. In Sanskrit language, that Mata becomes Matru and this Pita become Pitru. Then in English, this Matru become mother and this Pitru become father. In Persian, this is Madar and father is Pidar, and in Latin it is Mater and Pater. So we are seeing a resemblance in these words: Mata, Matru, Mother, Madar, Mater. So these are the similar words and the meaning is same, that is the father. Pita, Pitr, father, Pidar, Pater. So what Max Muller tries to say is that, Max Muller says that the ancestors of all these people, either they were the Latin speaker or the Persian or the Germans or the Romans or the English or the Indian people, Hindu or the who speaks the Hindi and the Sanskrit language, their ancestors would live at some particular, at a common place sometime. And that was the area which is identified by this Max Muller, was stretched from Poland to Central Asia, and that was the great steppe land area, हरे चरागाहों का जो स्थान था. And they forced from that area, which I told you people, which I discussed with you people, they were forced to leave that area, and they gave in that, and they moved in the different directions in different branches. And when these people, these Aryans, come in contact with the local peoples, the local peoples definitely had their some language also, and the Aryans also had their some language also. And when these Aryans came in these visited in different areas, their language, the Aryans were same. Aryans were same. They migrated in the Europe also, in the West Asia also, in the Turkey also, and in the India also. The Aryans were same, and their language was also common. But wherever they went, they met the local peoples. and the local peoples also had their own languages. So there was a mixture of this Aryan language and the local people language, which gave rise to new languages, which we can see here. How? And that's why there was the similarity also, because in all the languages there was the language of the Aryan also and the local language also. So this is the mixture of the Aryan and the local language, and that's why there is a similarity, because in all the language, the local languages are different definitely. Whatever was speaking in the German or the Roman or the Greece or the Irish area or the Ireland or the England, that their local language was different. But one common language mixed in those local language, and that's why there is the reflection of that one language of the Aryans in all the different words. Otherwise the local languages are different. The Romans were different, the Irish were different, the Greeks were different, the Germans were different. They had the different local languages. But when the language of the Aryans mixed with their language, a new language emerged. And those new languages, wherever those new languages would emerge, they will reflect some commonness, because one common language is there and rest of the languages are local, but one common language was there, and because of that one common language we are seeing the similarity in these words. Either it is the pita, pitr, father, pidar or peter, either it was the mata, matr, mother, madar or meter. Similarity. Why the similarity is there? Because the local languages are mixed with one common language, and that was the common language of the Aryans, and that common language is not known, which I am repeating again and again. That common language is not known, because this is the language, it is the half mixture of the Aryans language and half mixture of the local people language. So that's why we can't say what was the original language those people who would live there. Initially what language they would speak, that's still a mystery till today. But whatever the languages we are having here, that is in the different tones, we are having the same tone, that is of the Aryan's language. One point is there. So Aryan, this Max Muller tried his level best to compare Aryans. They belong to the Central Asia, and he made the base of this theory is the linguistic base. Then other scholar is the Adolf Piquet. Adolf Piquet says that he also believed in the Central Asian theory. He says that Sanskrit and the Persian languages are old languages as compared to the other European language. Sanskrit and Persian are older and closer to each other as compared to the European language, and there is a difference between the distance. Europe is much far from the Central Asia when we compare Persia with the Central Asia. So when the distance is less in two languages, that is the Sanskrit and the Persian, they are much close to each other because the distance between them is less as compared to the distance between the European language and European languages and the Aryan languages. So because of this, that's why this Adolf Piquet says that Sanskrit and Persian are more close to each other as compared to the other European languages, and that's why Sanskrit is more close to the Persian, and these Persian people ultimately came from Central Asia and they later goes to India also, and that is why he linked people of the India with the people of the Persia, who ultimately linked with the people of the Aryans from the Poland to Central Asia this stretch. So he also focused that his theory is also related somewhere, and he also give Aryans that Aryans belong to the Central Asian theory, Central Asia, just like the Max Muller. Then third is the D.P. Mishra theory. D.P. Mishra, in the later Vedic age, he studied the geographical conditions, the climate of India, which is studied through the Vayu Puran and the Matsya Puran. Vayu Puran and Matsya Puran में जो उसने geographical conditions और locations पढ़ी, that was similar with the geographical condition, climate and location of the Central Asia. Geographical conditions of the Central Asia similar with the geographical conditions of Matsya Puran and Vayu Puran, and on that basis he linked in Aryans with the Central Asia. But this theory is somewhere criticized also, because the climate when the Matsya Puran and Vayu Puran were written, that was different climate as compared to the climate of the Central Asian from when the Aryans started migrating to the different areas. Okay, that was the theory given by the D.P. Mishra. But this D.P. Mishra or Adolf Piquet or Max Muller, they firmly believed that the Aryans belong to the Central Asia. Then fourth is the Kassites. So who were these Kassites and who were these Mitannis and who were these Hittites? Just I told you people, Aryans when approached to the different parts, they met the local peoples also. And when they assimilated with the local people, when they contacted with the local people, in the new people emerged. And those new people were the Kassites and the Midani in the West Asian region. So this Kassites and Mitanis were those, they were the people of a new culture that emerged because of the assimilation of Aryans with the local peoples. These emerged there. So these Kassites used to worship gods. Their important gods was Indash and Suryash. Indash and Suryash were the important gods of these Kassites who emerged because of the amalgamation of the Aryans with the local tribes of West Asia. And these Kassites emerged. And these Kassites used to worship these Indash and Suryash. And somewhere these Indash and Suryash interpreted the gods Indra, that is the god of thunderstorm and rain in our country, and Surya भगवान जिनकी हम सुबह पूजा करते हैं, जल देते हैं. So Suryas we interpreted from Suryash and Indra we interpreted from Indash, and these Indash and Suryash were being worshipped by the Kassites who were the people of the West Asia, and the Aryans from this steep land migrated to the West Asia. So there is a link. There is a link from the Aryans from the steep land migrated to West Asia and contacted with the local peoples, and with the contact of the local peoples and the Aryans emerged another people, that were Kassites, who used to worship Indra and Surya, and these Indra worship and Surya worship in our own country. That's why we can say that up to an extent there is a link between Indian Aryans and when they came from the Central Asia. There is a link, definitely there is a link. We can't avoid that. Then we have to talk about the Bogaskoi inscription that was discovered in 1400 BC in the Asia Minor. And in the Bogaskoi inscription also we are having the description of different Vedic gods which we worship in the Sub-Sindhu region. In the Bogaskoi inscription, when we link the Bogaskoi inscription of the Asia Minor with the Indian gods, and those Indian gods were worshipped, either it was the Varun or the Mitra or the Ushas or the Vatsya or the Indra. They were mentioned in the Bogaskoi inscription, and this Bogaskoi inscription of the Asia Minor and West Asia area, and they came ultimately from the steep land area. That's why we can link with this Aryan, because of the Bogaskoi inscription, with the Central Asia again. Then we have to discuss. Just take the example in the Europe, the Greek civilization also emerged, and who these Greek people were. Initially, when the Aryans migrated from the Central Asia and they moved toward Europe, there is a country that is the Greece, that is a part of Asia and that is a part of Europe also. So in the Greece, there was before the rise of the Greeks, there was a civilization that was known as the Myonian civilization. That was which civilization? That was the Myonian civilization. And this Myonian civilization was inhabited by the locals. They were the Avians, Ionians and Darians. Ionian, Aryans and Darians, they were the locals, inhabitant of the Greece country. And when they came in contact with the Central Asian Aryan, there emerged the Greek people. By these scholars, either it was the Max Muller or the Adolf Piquet or the D.P. Mishra or the Bogaskoi inscription or the Kassites worship, we can say that up to a good extent, we can say that Aryans belong to the Central Asia. Then we have to discuss in the then we have to discuss these Hittites also. These Hittites and these Mitanni, they were also linked, and that also give us. That also encouraged us to give the status of the Central Asia to the Aryans. Okay. Now we have to discuss the Hindu scholars or our indigenous scholars who believe that the Aryans did not come outside the country, but they were the original inhabitant of this country itself. And the important scholars among them is the Gangaraj Jha, who believed that the Brahmrishi Desha, that was the original area which was occupied by the Aryans, and that the area between the Yamuna river and the Satluj river. He believed that in the Brahmrishi Desh, the Aryans first of all emerged and they didn't come outside the country. Second, the D.S. Trivedi, who believed in the Multan region, that is the original area of the original homeland of the Aryans, that is in the present Pakistan area. Then L.D. Wala believes that the Kashmir and the Himalayas are the region where the Aryan would live. A.C. Das and Sampurnanand, they say that Aryans didn't come outside the country. Their theory is also very much important, and they say that Aryans didn't come outside the country, but they were the original inhabitants who would live in the area of the Sapt Sindhu, that is the area of the seven rivers, the five rivers of Punjab, Jhelum, Chenab, Vyas, Satluj, Ravi, and Indus and Saraswati was there. So they were the original inhabitants of that area. But these scholars are also challenged by other scholars. These scholars are also challenged. The theory of the indigenous theory of the Aryan origin is also challenged. Those who challenge this theory, this is that if India was the original homeland of the Aryans, then why the Aryans Aryanized only North India? Why didn't they Aryanize the South India and whole of the India? Why did they Aryanize only the North India if they were the original inhabitant of this country? Why didn't they Aryanize the South India also? And these scholars gave them answer. What they answered? They says that if the Aryans came from outside the country by these scholars, either from the Europe or the West Asia or the Turkey or the Anatolia region, if they came from outside the country, and Aryans were the composer of the Veds, and if they came from outside the country, then in those countries we must have some fragments or remains of Veds also, but we didn't have. We didn't have in the initial stages. No doubt in the later stages today, the European people, American people, they people are, we can say that on the path of the Veds, on studying the Veds and following the Veds also, but that is in the later stage. In the early stage, if the Aryans came from this Central Asian theory or we accept this Central Asian theory, then why we didn't have the evidences of the Veds in these places? We didn't have the evidences of the Veds, and on those basis, these scholars says that Aryans didn't come outside the country. Had they come outside the country, then we must have the evidences of Veds in those countries also. In the initial stages, not in the later stages. If in the later stages we are seeing that, then we can say that Aryans migrated or their culture migrated there also. But in the initial stages, the concept of Veds were not there, and in the initial stages, the concept of Veds was only in India. If the concept of Veds was only in India, it means they were the original inhabitant and they composed Veds there. Had they come from outside the country, they must have the evidences of Veds, which we didn't have. But again, there is a question mark on this theory also, because they couldn't give the answer. If Aryans belong to the India, then why they Aryanized only North India and not the South India? So question marks are definitely there on these theories also and these theories also, and we have to take the best, which can fulfill most of the points by which we can say that Aryans belong to that particular theory. That's why in the beginning of the lecture, I told you people that it's interesting also and it is debatable also. Okay. Another scholar says that those who believe in the other foreign theories, just like the P. Giles and MacDonald is there. P. Giles and MacDonald, they says that Aryans belong to the green pasture land of Austria and Hungary. That area was full of vast area, and they had their possession cows, and they came this area from Austria and Hungary because that was also the pasture land. This is that. Then Bredestian and Penka, they believed in the German theory. They says that it was the German people who had the blood of Aryans in their veins, and Hitler was very much, we can say that Hitler was just, he was a staunch supporter of this theory that Germans belong to the Aryan race. So this Bredestian and Penka, they believed that German origin on the basis of the physical appearance of the Germans and the physical appearance of the Aryans. Tall people, broad shoulders, broad chest, brown color hair. On those bases, we say that this scholar says that rather the Aryans belong to the German race. And the Scandinavians were never overpowered, never defeated by any other nation. And it was the Aryans, we are seeing what here, it was the Aryans who were defeating the others, who were overpowering the others, but they were not defeated by anybody. If they were not defeated by anybody, and Scandinavians claim that they are also not defeated by anybody, so it means that's why they are claiming that they are the Aryans, because they were not defeated by any other community that time. After that, Schneider theory that belongs to the Southern Asia, he says that because of the linguistic basis and because of the remains, bones of the horses, archaeological point of view, this is that this Schneider says that Aryans belong to the Southern Asia. One more point was here that there were 4 different branches were there. One branch moved toward the Europe, other branch moved toward the West Asia, and one to the Anatolia region. And one branch remained there, and they become the Slavonic people, that is the present day area of the Bosnia, Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, they were the people of that area. And here this Schrader theory also believed that the South Russia based on linguistic basis and the Horse remain. And Horse were the important possession of the Aryans also. So on these basis, these scholars tried their level best to compare the Aryans with their particular country. So these are the important views which we have discussed here, and by going through these views, we can say that up to an extent, it was the views or the evidences given by the Max Muller and supported by Adolf Piquet, supported by D.P. Mishra, supported by Bogasco inscription, supported by Kassites also. They, on this basis, we can say that up to a very good extent, because it was the Kassites who used to worship Indash and Surya, who ultimately converted it to Indra and Surya. It means they were from the Central Asia. It was the Adolf Piquet who says that Sanskrit and Persian are the old languages compared to the European language, and on that basis he tried to link the Aryan with the Central Asia, and Max Muller tried to link the people of different languages of different countries, and there is a resemblance in the when we pronounce this word, either the Pita or Pitra, we see that there is a close resemblance, and this close resemblance is only because of the Aryan influence on the language of the local people. So up to an extent, by going through the different theories, we can say that Central Asia is the best theory from this theory, which was given by Max Muller, and they belong to the Aryans belong to the Central Asia. So students, in order to get more and more video, you have to like, share and subscribe the channel also, and in the near future on regular basis we will post videos particularly for the mains exams, because from the coming January you are going to appear in your mains exam, so we will focus more and more on the mains video. Okay, good luck.